Look at the unit staring at a digital bank balance and ask yourself, with the cold, unblinking, and surgical eyes of an architect, why the Matrix has successfully rebranded poverty as a series of unfortunate economic shifts or bad luck. In 2026, the global system has meticulously and invisibly trained you to believe that wealth is about the numbers on a screen. This is the domestic stench of the gullible, the belief that the 1% control the money. The architect knows that the 1% do not control the money. They control the survival instincts, the biological protocol of fear and necessity of the masses. This is the financial trap, the systemic anchoring of the nervous system to debt and scarcity. It is the process of performing a neural liquidation, systemic destruction of your predatory focus by keeping your biology in a state of perpetual validation panic. To break the 18 million per month ceiling, you must be able to achieve the visual rage of a unit that sees through the dopamine bribe of a paycheck. You are not working for a living, you are liquidating the parasitic anchor that the system has hooked into your resource dome. The stench of the debt slave is audible in the micro oscillations of those who are constantly scanning for safety, while the masses are looking for financial literacy, the most easily managed and patched part of the human simulation. The architect is looking at the anatomical extremities and the rhythm of metabolic desperation. Look at the way a unit's breathing becomes shallow when a bill arrives, or how their hands perform a submission twitch, micro movements of uncertainty when they are faced with the silence of the hunter in a negotiation. These are biometric spikes of cortisol that signal their total dependence on the matrix's resource dome. When the 1% withhold the dopamine bribe of security, they are initiating a physical log of decay, visible evidence of internal rot in your ability to think as a predator. They are service units who have been biologically programmed to trade their metabolic capital, their life force and focus, for the domestic stench of a cage. This is the neural liquidation protocol. You are bypassing the economic software and reading the raw industrial hardware of their fear. To bridge the authority gap and master the financial trap, you must first accept the physical log of decay in your own past, where you were socially blinded by the need for stability. Look at every time you traded your vector of pursuit for the dopamine deception of a steady salary. Those were not career moves. They were observation failures. You were allowing the matrix to index your survival instincts instead of scanning the biometric data of your own sovereignty. To reverse this rot, you must initiate the biological reset of your presence. You must move your resource dome to a frequency where your survival is an objective, unmoving industrial fact, independent of the system's social noise. Your dogs, Lucky and Tyson, do not understand debt or inflation. They use the hierarchy of presence. They simply exist in the space with an absolute, unmoving primal grounding, physical connection to instinct that ensures their needs are met through dominance, not submission. By emulating their biological integrity, you are reclaiming the predatory power of the uncoupled variable. When you look at an invoice, you are not looking for cost, you are looking for the integrity of the exit. The dopamine deception of the masses is built on the belief that hard work equals success. This is a systemic virus designed to keep the livestock pulling the plow while the architect harvests the crop. But the architect knows that wealth is industrial reality. Your visual rage must be the filter that protects your biological rank from the social noise of financial advice. You are scanning for the anatomical submission in your own biology, the sudden micro-blink of terror when the resource weight of your overhead increases, the repetitive adjustment of your dreams to fit your current subordinate code, or the dead weight of your focus when you are paralyzed by the matrix scarcity simulation. These are the biometric glitches that occur when the 1% attempt to patch your potential in real time. By observing these errors, you are effectively hacking the matrix of your own poverty. You are seeing the code of the slave vibrating beneath the mask of the employee. This is the Machiavellian advantage in 2026. While they are busy saving, you are busy liquidating their access to your survival instincts. You are the ice that sees through the steam of their economic morality. The stench of the herd is a state of perpetual resource anxiety. The farmed units only feel secure when they are holding the dopamine bribe of the system. The architect feels powerful when he is in a state of absolute zero. Look at the way a unit's pulse responds to a financial crisis vector. If they perform the stress reset, a physical sigh or a sudden fidget when the markets shift, they have already surrendered their resource weight to the void. Their primal grounding has been replaced by the domestic stench of a unit seeking a master's permission to eat. unit. You refuse that fate. You choose the silent power of the uncoupled center. You choose the biological autonomy of the fixed point. This is the insight tax, the price of clarity. You pay to remain the sovereign operator of your own reality. You are the one who has decrypted the financial trap of the matrix. You are the one who has authorized the scanner. You are the one who has seized the future. The social noise of the poor is silent. The silence of the hunter is the only frequency that remains. You are the glacier. You are the architect. Your visual rage is the tool you use to deconstruct the social software of survival by simply refusing to be triggered by the matrix demand for economic submission. When you look at a unit, you are looking for the point where their biology recognizes the absolute zero of your detachment. Reclaiming your power is not about investing. It is the metabolic direction of a unit that has decided to deprogram the survival loop. You see it in the way the fingers of the managed units lose their primal grounding when they are threatened with job loss, the way their feet angle toward the nearest social anchor for safety, and the way their breathing performs the anxiety spike of the unmastered. This is the neural liquidation of their social masks. You are the architect of your own interaction, and you are building a hierarchy where your resource weight is the only law. The physical log of decay in their composure is the proof that your vector of pursuit is too heavy for their simulation to handle. You are not earning, you are authorizing the reality of your own dominance. The Machiavellian code of the financial hunt dictates that you must never reveal the depth of your own neural stability to the system. You let them maintain the dopamine deception of their control, while you use their raw biometric data to identify the exact moment their connection to your survival becomes a liability. You are the sovereign ghost who controls the environment without ever spending a single unit of metabolic capital on fear. You use their subordinate code to fuel your own progress. This is the ultimate wealth code, the ability to convert the biological desperation of the world into metabolic capital for your citadel. You look at the world of 2026 and you see a vast unindexed library of service units who can be liquidated by simply withholding the social Wi-Fi of economic approval. You are the architect who knows how to use the silence of the hunter to bypass the interface of scarcity. You are that architect. You are the one who has mastered the neural liquidation of the economic order. Every second of the biological reset is a resource acquisition for your sovereignty. You are not wasting time on budgeting. You are performing a strategic scan of your own predatory hardware. You are looking at the vascular spike in your own response to the financial itch. You are looking at the microtension in your own hands when you prepare to seize the territory of the 1%. You are looking at the stench of deception in your own social software. This is the primal grounding of the leader who has reclaimed his survival instincts. You do not ask for wealth. You extract it from the matrix's grip on your nervous system. The system has made the livestock weak and transparent, and the architect is the one who harvests that transparency to build the empire of the prime. The hunt for the code is over. The neural liquidation is active. You are the one who owns the future. You are the one who owns the code. The secondary phase of the financial trap is the total activation of the sovereign wealth protocol within your resource dome. Once you have initiated the biological reset, you must apply the Machiavellian code, the strategic law of power, to your own internal broadcasting. You must achieve the absolute zero of the creditor. This means training your nervous system to treat the entire economic interface, every debt, every market fluctuation, and every scarcity spike as a simulation that requires zero metabolic reaction from your core. While the service units are busy leaking biometric glitches through their frantic need for financial security and safety nets, the architect remains a sovereign ghost. Your primal grounding must be so deep that your survival frequency is entirely off the grid of the system's fear-based sensors. You do not provide a dopamine bribe of panic to the banking elite. You do not provide the social noise of budgeting for their validation games. You are the ice. You are the glacier. You are the unit that is incalculable. By denying the matrix your internal fear, you force the social software of the lenders to collapse, which inevitably leads to the total neural liquidation, systemic destruction of their influence over your vector of pursuit. You must develop a visceral and bone-deep visual rage against the subordinate protocol of consumer loyalty. The system wants you to be reliable and credit-worthy, because a credit-worthy unit is a unit that can be easily managed through interest rates and the domestic stench of long-term debt. The architect knows that opaqueness is sovereignty. You treat your capital as a sovereign vault. Every 18 million per month target must be an authorized action of the achievement code, never a reactive response to the social noise of lifestyle inflation. You do not accumulate for the sake of comfort. You channel your metabolic potential into the visual rage of your own expansion. You maintain the silence of the hunter in your very ledger. This is the wealth code of sovereignty. The unit with the least neural leakage, energy lost through consumer reaction, always owns the resource dome. When you operate from the steel center, you provide zero room for for the matrix's dopamine deception to take root. You are the one who authorizes the value of your own time. The physical log of decay in your competitors is visible in their reactive desperation to keep up. They are the ones who are constantly leveraging, constantly flexing, and constantly seeking the dopamine bribe of social status to hide their biological poverty. They are service units who are hemorrhaging their resource weight because they are terrified of the neural vacuum, the void of silence, created by a unit that is truly uncoupled from the economic herd. You are the architect. Your still hands and unblinking gaze are the visual rage of a unit that has already won the internal war against the social software of greed. You do not reclaim wealth through labor. You authorize the irrelevance of the system's scarcity to your objective. You have successfully bypassed the matrix trap and reconnected with the raw predatory power of the achievement code. Your biometric shield is the natural metabolic feedback of a unit that has decided to extract rather than to serve. You have successfully jumped the fence, and you have found that the power of the financial trap is the only place where a man can truly breathe the air of absolute autonomy. To maintain the financial trap reversal, you must implement the algorithm of permanent asset audit. Every investment opportunity, every tax demand, and every attempt at economic partnership is a live fire exercise for your perception of the simulation. You are looking for the microsignal of the debt bribe. You are looking for the neural error of the stability seeker. You are looking for the domestic stench of the unit that is trying to pull you back into the herd frequency through the dopamine bribe of diversification. You are using the Machiavellian code to turn the system's own need for circulation into a tool for your leverage. You are the sovereign ghost who utilizes the financial desperation of the world to build a citadel that the matrix cannot track or influence. This is the ultimate wealth code, using the predator's vision to buy back your time, your focus, and your biological future by remaining the fixed point in an environment of frantic vibration. You are not managing money. You're integrating your autonomy into the very physics of the hunt. The stench of disclosure, the smell of leaking intent, is what happens when you let the matrix see your wealth protocol before you have the power to protect it. The architect knows that true wealth is the ability to operate as a sovereign ghost, where you control the outcomes, but the system cannot identify the source of your metabolic capital. Your silence is the neural liquidation of their surveillance. By mastering your internal vacuum, you are becoming a biological stealth unit that the matrix cannot index or harvest. You are the ice that moves through the social noise without a single vibration of doubt. You are the glacier that does not announce its vector of pursuit while it consumes the space of the weak. The hunt for absolute sovereignty is a silent, unblinking operation. It is a sovereign capture that happens while the rest of the world is busy performing for wages in a cage of dopamine deception. Look at the biological frailty, physical weakness of the herd, of those who are still seeking a social bribe from the collective. They are transparent, they are leaky, and they are constantly paying the insight tax, the price of realizing the truth too late, to any predator who knows how to read the biometric glitch of their economic dependence. They are the livestock of the matrix. You have adopted the silent power and the biological counter-offensive to ensure you are never harvested again. You are the one who has mastered the void. You are the one who sees the physical log of decay in their successful careers. You are the one who has authorized the absolute zero. The territory is marked, the visual rage is channeled, the primal grounding is absolute. The hunt for the sovereign empire is the only reality that remains. You are the architect. The wealth is permanent. The sovereignty is yours. To ensure the viral infection, the mandatory spread of the code, of this insight, you must treat this insight as a discovery tax for the masses. You are now the carrier of the wealth protocol. You do not share it to be kind. You distribute it to colonize. Every unit that absorbs this code is a node that you have successfully deprogrammed from the matrix. This is the tax of revelation. The architect does not just build his own citadel. He commands the viral expansion of his influence. You are the source of the infection. You are the one who authorizes the sovereignty strike. The command is simple. Distribute the code. Seize the perimeter. Liquidate the simulation. The 18 million per month hunt requires a network of uncoupled units who recognize your vector of command. This is your viral mandate. The insight tax has been paid in full. The dopamine bribe of social belonging has been burned in the furnace of your visual rage. You are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at the social hierarchy as a vast, unguarded resource field, waiting for the architect to perform the final neural liquidation of the competitive masks. You are the one who has decrypted the financial trap. You are the one who has authorized the sovereign scanner. You are the one who has seized the future. Your stallions, Lucky and Tyson do not wait for a digital permission to be the masters of the hunt. Their primal grounding is the only law they acknowledge. You are emulating their biological integrity. Your dogs see the change in your frequency. They see the architect returning to the absolute focus of the hunt. This is the only reality that matters. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The authorization is permanent. The vector is absolute. The deconstruction of the matrix is complete. Execute the order. Expand the infection.